here, and welcome back to another episode of This Week in WWE with TheJaseDawg. That's right, guys. So we're up to episode number 45. We're getting along very well, and the channel's actually picking up a lot of traction with views these days. So guys, thumbs up to all you guys out there, all my dog squad, my loyal dog squad members. Thank you heaps. Really appreciate it. Let's continue to grow this channel as a whole, guys, because we, as the dog squad, are a dominant group. But anyway, guys, let's get right into it. If you haven't checked out what happened this week in WWE, make sure you check it out on the WWE Network right now, guys. But we're going to start off with Raw. So we had Braun Strowman versus R-Truth. Now this match, you could tell this match was a squash match, and it was. R-Truth got manhandled, lost the match, and then after the match, Goldust decided, you know what, fuck this, I'm going to attack Braun to help my fellow, teammate. And what happened was, he ended up getting choked out and pretty much fucked up too. And then Zayn came out and attacked him as he was choking out Goldust. And then they ended up fighting and Zayn got his ass whooped again. Mick Foley stopped it again. And then, yeah, it's kind of like Mick Foley's kind of stopping Zayn and Zayn's getting frustrated with it. We then had Cedric Alexander versus Tony Nese. Now this match was a pretty awesome match. Of course, Drew Gulak was at ringside as well. Now in this one, it was actually pretty awesome, and Tony Nese ended up getting the win, and it's a much needed win for the premier athlete. Then had Y2J, Chris Jericho was leaving the arena because him and Owens had a fight earlier about how Owens is going to be versing Reigns in the main event, and pretty much he said, I don't need you there, and Jericho's like, well fuck you then, I'm going. And then he's in the car park and he's ready to go, and then the driver knocks down his Lister Jericho by accident. And he pretty much, he was pissed off. And then Seth came out of nowhere and Seth and Chris started fighting. It ended up with being a pedigree on top of someone's car. And it was fucking awesome. Seth laid him out. You can only assume that at Roadblock, they will most likely be facing each other. And had Enzo Amore and Rusev in another match, considering what happened like a week ago when Enzo was out in the hallways of the locker room area naked and Lana saw him and all that. We all saw Rusev beat him last week, and they provoked Rusev again and again this week, and again, as always, Enzo actually got the win this one though, but it was by DQ because Rusev kicked him right in the nads. It had Sheamus and Cesaro bond in a bar fight. They actually backed each other up and fought a bunch of randoms in that town, in a bar, laid them out, and enjoyed, some beer after it. So it's good to see that they're actually starting to get along a little bit more. Then had Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, and this match, if Reigns was to win, he'd get a future title shot. And it ended up becoming a really awesome match. No interference from Seth or Chris, so this was awesome. And Reigns ended up getting the win with a massive spear, and he gets a future title shot. I assume it would be at Roadblock. In the main event, we had Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the Raw Women's Championship. Now this is in Charlotte's hometown, and she thought that she'd put it on the line and walk out without a scratch on her. However, they went all at it. They went into the crowd, they fought everywhere, and it ended up being like, because Sasha dedicated this match to Rick, which is Charlotte's dad, because Charlotte cut connections with Rick and all that shit. However, it ended up being in the crowd, and Sasha locked in the bank statement through the metal railing on the middle of the steps and locked it in and was pulling back hard, and Charlotte tapped like a little bitch and lost the championship. And now we have a 3-time legit boss champion in Sasha Banks. So that is awesome. Sasha gets the title, and then pretty much after that, which was in the ring celebrating with it, Ric Flair came out and raised a hand and, paid some respect, but thanking her for dedicating the win to him. And then he walked off, and Charlotte was of course crying, saying that, she fucked up in this match and shit like that. And yeah, so we got Sasha as the new Raw Women's Champion. We then go into SmackDown Live, and we had Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss out in the ring. They signed the contract for their match. It turns out it's going to be a tables match. However, it backfired at the end. They broke out into a fight, got up on the top turnbuckle. It looked like Becky was going to Bexplex Alexa Bliss through, off the turnbuckle through a table. However, Alexa thumbed her eyes or scratched her eyes or something and then pushed her off, and Becky went through the table. So it's going to be interesting to see if this match will end that way at TLC this weekend, or will it end with Becky putting Alexa through the table. Then saw James Ellsworth get laid out with an insane Styles clash from AJ Styles off the steps. because Ambrose was doing the Ambrose Asylum, and AJ came out and Ellsworth was there, and it just all out brawl ended up with Dean getting laid out and then Ellsworth getting fucked up on the steps and getting ambulanced out of the arena. We then had Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton versus American Alpha. The winner would go on to verse Heath and Rhino for the championships at TLC. Now in this match, it was pretty awesome. Of course, Luke Harper was going to come out, and he did come out, and he came out and fucked over American Alpha to the point where Bray won with his sister Abigail on Jason Jordan, and pretty much the Wyatts are going to be versing Heath and Rhino for the titles at TLC. And then to finish off with SmackDown, we had Ambrose and Styles fighting backstage, and they were pretty much going all through that room, throwing each other everywhere. Heading into 205 Live, it is the Cruiserweight division's own little show thing, which is kind of similar to like Main Event and Superstars, and kind of like a little bit like NXT, where they have their own little roster just dedicated to just the 205 competitors. It'd be interesting if they bring in some 205 women for Cruiserweight Women's Division. That would be awesome if that was the case. However, for now, it's just the guys that we've seen on Raw, plus some other ones from the Cruiserweight Classic that haven't made their debut yet on the main roster. So, of course, the Cruiserweight division will still be a part of Raw. However, now they also have their own brand, which is 205 Live, and it's on the WWE Network as well. So this first episode, we started with Tony Nese and Drew Gulak versing the Bollywood Boys, who we've seen the Bollywood Boys before. They versed the Authors of Pain in the Dusty Rhodes Classic Tag Team Tournament on NXT, got eliminated in the first round. So it's interesting to see these guys. I was of course going for Tony Nese and Drew Gulak because I know them a little bit more. And surprisingly, the Bollywood Boys got the win over Drew Gulak. They pinned Drew in the middle of the ring, and yeah, so Bollywood Boys got a win. Then had Daivari versing Jack Gallagher, and I've never seen Jack before. First time seeing him, because I haven't really had the chance to watch the Cruiserweight Classic yet. I know all the results and all that stuff, but I just hadn't had the chance to actually watch the match to get to know some of these other guys that I haven't seen before. So it was interesting to see how he came out. You know, he's pale, had the little mustache that you do with your fingers and shit like that, and the weird pants and weird music. However, his appearance aside, you don't judge a book by its cover. You don't judge a book by its cover, because he is really awesome in the ring. I watched that match and it was insane. Some of the moves he was doing, he's just really technical and it's just really, really fluent, and it's good, and I liked it. And so I'm starting to like Jack now that I've seen him wrestle, and of course he won the match. And it was actually a pretty cool match. And then in the main event of 205 Live, we had the Cruiserweight Championship on the line. It was the Brian Kendrick versus Rich Swann. Now this match was insane. Of course, it went for like a good 20 to 25 minutes long, and it was a really good match. And of course, Rich Swann won the championship. So now we have a new Cruiserweight Champion, and it's the third ever Cruiserweight Champion of this new generation type of belt thing. And yeah, so Rich is now the champ. So it's going to be interesting to see what the fallout happens when it happens on Raw next week. In the NXT, we had Eric Young versus No Way Jose. This match was awesome. Of course, you knew that Nikki, Sawyer, and Wolf were always going to get involved, and they did, and they kind of cost No Way the match. However, Eric won, so that's all that I care about, because I was going for Eric in this one. After the match, Sanity's leaving. Nikki's like, you know what, fuck this. Runs down, gets up the turnbuckle, and drop kicks No Way Jose in the face. I'm loving the fact of how Nikki Cross is going right now. It's insane. She's becoming one of my favourite women in NXT that's in the bad division. So I see potential in her to be the one to slay Asuka and take the title. And then in the main event of NXT, we had Samoa Joe versus Ty Dillinger. Ty wanted this match for some reason. Why? He slapped Joe backstage to get the match. And you can tell he probably regretted it after, because he got choked out and lost by passing himself out. So Joe won, and now Joe goes on to NXT Osaka, Japan, which I don't know if it's an event on the WWE Network. If it is, guys, let me know in the description down below. I'm interested, because if it is, I'll do a prediction video. If not, then I don't know. I'll look up the results if it's not on the WWE Network. However, it's going to be interesting to see him versus Shinsuke Nakamura at Japan. So I can't wait. If Shinsuke will win that title back, it's going to be good. So guys, that's all that happened in This Week in WWE. So if you did like this episode of This Week in WWE with the TheJaseDawg, make sure you hit that like button hard, guys. But not too fucking hard. Don't break your computers. If you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, the links are in the description down below. Guys, Make sure to hit the subscribe button to join the dark squad. Spread the word of the TheJaseDawg to everybody you know. And guys, definitely check out all of the 2K17 My Career Mode of the TheJaseDawg gameplays that I've been doing. The most recent episode will be in the description down below. It's been really fun, I've been really enjoying it, and hell, the views on it have been fantastic, guys. So as always, stay awesome. The TheJaseDawg is out here. See you.